something that I wanted to show y'all here. With me being left-handed and reloading here, typically what I had gotten used to before I got the bullet feeder on this, I would reload with my right hand, especially from doing a single stage, because it's indexed to where you load everything this way and you crank on it with your right hand. I had gotten used to doing that, and for this here, before I had the bullet feeder, I was used to feeding the bullet in there. And with this Lee LoadMaster, if anyone's used one very much, you know that there can be issues with the priming system on there. And what I had been doing prior to this method was just, I'd load 50 to 100 and then sift through them real quick just by hand and check and see if there were any primers missing, flipped upside down, crushed sideways, whatever. Well, I don't have that very much anymore because I've got a lot of the bugs ironed out. But what I started doing now with the bullet feeder on there is, instead of actuating the press with my right hand, I'll actuate the press with my left hand, and I can use my right hand to catch each individual bullet as it comes out, flip it and look at the primer, and go on. I can see my primer tray and make sure they're feeding properly. Like this right here, I can go ahead and still be running the rounds as they come out. Go ahead and just run it, and as I'm pressing down for the next one, I can check the one that just came off of there. Had in a case, it got turned upside down. Sit there and every time that I pull my handle here, as you guys know, there is a loaded round coming out. Works pretty quick here. Good thing is that I can check them on the fly this way and don't have to worry about sifting back through everything after the fact. And this is 357 SIG that I'm loading here. If any of you guys have ever had any experience reloading these nickel plated cases, had a little bit of an issue right off the bat with the primers, but it wasn't from the priming system. I don't know how well you can see in here. Do you see where, get it to focus in, see right down in there where the brass is shining through? Let me see if we can get down here. Angle this down where we can get in the light real well. There is some brass that shines through right where that the nickel stops. It's a nickel plating over a regular brass case is what we've got here, and that nickel coating from, I guess, having the primer that was in there pressed out, it's caused that nickel coating to flake right there, and it's kind of a jagged edge, and it's catching my primers as they slide underneath there on the press to go in, or actually as the case slides over the primer to be pressed. I don't know if anybody else has had any issues with nickel plated cases and reloading or priming, but well, let's see here. I've got to load a bullet in there, so we'll try and feed one in by hand. See what we can do. This is all the little things why here I am running my mouth. When you're reloading, you really should shut up and just reload and not worry about anything else. But As long as you keep your wits about you. Keep your head screwed on straight. There we go. We'll just try and run that in manually there. Feed some more bullets in here, and I'm going to eventually get one of the 4-tube collator or the multi-tube feed system for my bullet feeder. But for now, I've affixed a funnel to the top of my load tube, and it seems to have really helped. Now I can just drop them in quickly. Whereas before I had to take time to learn everything out with the little tube and all that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll run about 20 to 30 more of these, and then I'll cut you guys loose. Let y'all see how quick you load a few of these up. And it's really quite amazing if you're reloading, you probably did start on a single stage. If you didn't and you jumped straight to a progressive, my hat's off to you. What we'll do here is when this tube gets empty, just have to watch for it, and I'll reach up and index to the tube that's in the back. It's actually the last of the 4 that I have any cases in. And if you saw that case fall down, that's because I still have one up there in the collator. You can speed up just a little bit here. There's one that has a bad primer. Every once in a while we'll run into one. That would probably work, especially if you had a bolt gun. But what we're doing here, not saying that you're going to be running 357 SIG from a bolt gun. And there is the Lee priming system at its finest.